Hello everyone. So in the previous task we learned how to make the various types of web pages, like we used web pages which has buttons, sliders, and which can also display some kind of values on it. So now in this we will learn to add images to the background and also add the images and see what various properties and various attributes we can set to that particular image. So this is the final output what we will be learning today. So this is an image which we have added in our particular HTML page. So if you look at the code, all the tags are same. The only new tag which we used is the image tag, and image SRC. SRC means the source. Source means the destination. The source destination, that means like if you are using your local system, then you will store like the path of that particular image in this double inverted commas, and you will just simply copy it and paste it over here. Width and height, you can set the width and height of this particular image. Like suppose if I reduce the width, you can see the width of the image has changed. So this is one of the properties which you can do. Some set various kind of properties and change its attributes and see what the outputs comes. So now we will add style to it, and let's suppose if you want that this particular image should not be like left, it should float to the right part. So simply we will use right float right property, and when we run it, you can see this particular image floats to the right corner. When we change it and do it to left, then it comes again to the left. So if you do not do anything, then by default it's aligned over here only. So you can set this kind of properties to this image. There are also various CSS properties which you can add to this particular image, like you can add border to this image, or you can like change the shape of this particular image. So these attributes you need to try it yourself and see what various properties you can apply to it. Now let's see that what if we want this particular image as a background and we want to write some kind of text to it, or some kind of like say the whole image works as a background for our web page. So let's see that. If I show you something, so this you can see. So basically what is that we have this whole image as a background, and then whatever we are writing is coming on this particular image. Okay, so now let me show you some kind of other background properties which we can set to this particular image. So what we are going to use, we are again, like if you want to write many styles options, then simply what we used to do is we used to set it for the particular like function or something. So here we have a body, so we are simply using body and we are setting some properties. So background image URL means the particular location of that image or the path of that image. You can see background repeat, background attachment, background size. These all are the other three properties of background. Or let's do one thing, let's remove these properties. Okay, so we are just simply removing these properties, and then we see what's the output. Okay, so you can see what has happened, that this particular image was like this, and then it is again repeating again and again. This is because the size of the image is not like fit for the whole particular web page. So what it does after like the dimensions of the image is completed, it creates a uh, again it creates a copy and just simply repeat the images until the whole background is covered. Okay, so what we did for it was we use, like if you want, we do not want that image to be repeated. So what we did was we did this, we will use background repeat. That means the background should not repeat, no repeat. And when I run this, so what will happen, it will not repeat. Okay, so the size or original dimensions of this particular image is this, so it, if it ends over here, that's it, it will not repeat. So this we use. The next, okay, so this property background attachment, that is fixed. So what it will do is Like whenever we will try to scroll the particular page, it will not let the image move. Okay, so the particular image or background, you can say, is fixed, because here in the form of background we are using image. And the last property which we used was background size, that is cover. Okay, so what background size cover means, that if we want that this particular image should cover whole of the our web page, what we will do is simply run it and see. So what it does is, now it has covered a whole of the screen of the web page, and now it is acting as an background cover for it. And then whatever you want to write on its body, or you can write it in the body tag. So we have written this particular heading and the body of this particular web page, like this is the paragraph which we have written. So these are some like other attributes which we can do when you are using an image as a background. So there are other also properties available. You can just go and have a look and try it yourself and see what outputs you get. Now let's start with our second task, and that is creating a like a login page in your using HTML. So like whenever we make a web GUI, you also want that that particular web page should be secured. So what we do is, for that we create a login page. So this is a very simple and basic login page which we are going to create. As you can see over here, that it has a username, password, and two buttons, reset and login. And here you have to enter that whatever the username or the password which you want to enter. So now let's see what we have used. So we used HTML earlier, then comes the head tag. So in heads we are using the title tag. So what basically title tag does is, whatever you write in the title tag, it displays on the tab of your browser. Like whenever you open that particular the web page, it will display over there. Okay, so now for that like for this creating this login page, the thing which we are going to use is a form and also a table. So form we are using because whenever we want to like take inputs and store it and verify, we need a kind of a form in which we can like enter those particular information. So first we have created a form and we have given it a name as login form, so that we can refer it later in the code also. Now we have created a table also, and we have given its width to 20%, and we have aligned it to center. So it can be aligned to like the any part, like any like left, right also. So I have aligned to the center, so it looks good. Okay. So the next thing which we are using, like once we have started this table tag, we are using the tr tag. Okay. So basically tr tag is, it refers to a row of a table. So if you look at this first HTML login page, so this is a row in which it is written. So what it is written, and TD is, then we have used TD. TD stands for that particular cell. Okay, so the particular cell of a table stands for TB, like TD. So here col span is equal to 2. So this means the like in number of parts in which that particular you can say the table is divided. And so we have two parts over here, as you can say, two columns in which we have divided it. So and we have kept this font size 4, and we have named this. Okay, so this is also a new tag which we are using, that is b tag. So b tag is something, whenever you want to write that particular tag in like bold, you will use b tag. Then these are the properties for the font. Then we have aligned it to the center. As you can see, we have used the center opening, center close tag, the font opening and font close tag. And then we have closed the TD tag, and then we have closed the TR tag. This means this particular HTML login page is in a single row. Okay, so next we come the second row. The second row contains first the TD, like the first cell contains the username, and the second cell contains this input box. Okay, so input box, the type is text. Okay, the size is 25. Name we have given it as a user ID. I will tell you why we have given it a user ID, because we need it later in the code also. And placeholder. So placeholder is what, as you can see, it is written enter username over here. So this is a place in like whatever you want to enter, you can enter it over here. Like if I change it and simply make it username and run it, so you can see that it will change to only username. And one more thing was there, that you can see the type which I have given over here is text. So when I write text, so text you can see it is visible to us also whatever we are like typing in this particular input box. Okay, now these two are the cells in a single row which we have completed, so we will close this row, as we have already decided earlier also that there will be two cells. Okay, so the next thing is the another row, the row which contains the password and its dialog box. So here it is the password, the input type is password. Okay, the name we have given is the pwd, and like placeholder is enter password. Okay, now the type is password. So why we gave this type as password is because whenever we type a password, we do not want that anyone should see that. So when we type it over here, you can see it will be in the form of dots, and then these two are over, and then again we will close this particular row. Then the next thing comes is again a row which contains reset button and login button. So the reset button is over here, and then the login button. So you can see the login button is a type of submit. Okay, and what it will do, like on click return check this dot form, and the value will be login, because once you have logged or you have pressed this button, whatever the values have been stored in this particular form needs to be checked. Okay, so for that what we need to do is we need to like write some kind of script, which we did like earlier also when we displayed the numeric value using a slider. So we needed a script for that. So same here. So now we'll close the table tag and the form tag, then comes the script. Okay, so the language we are using here is JavaScript. So in HTML, like most of the cases, the script is written in JavaScript only. So now we have created this function check form. Okay, now simple if else we are using if form dot user id. So why user id? I said na, this particular input box we referred as user id. We gave a name user id so that we can use it here. Its value is equal to xyz, and similarly for password, if form dot password value is xyz, that means we have said that if the values are xyz and xyz for both the username and password, then create a alert login successful and return true, else create an alert incorrect username or password, return false, and just simply close these if else and this function and close the script body and html. So now we are run this code. Now let's enter some absurd username and password and try to log in it. So you can see that alert has been created incorrect username or password. Now what if we write in correct username and password, that is xyz and xyz, and we try to log in it. So you can see this creates an alert that is login is successful. So this particular login is successful. And reset button, like whenever you type something and if you want that that particular thing should be reset, you just click it and it will be reset. So this is how you learned to create an login page using HTML, which would be very helpful whenever you create a web GUI. So now what you have learned, that you can create a login page also, you can create button also, you can create slider also. So these are all the basic things which you need while creating the various IoT projects, which we will do later. And this would be very helpful, and I would like that you should all practice the same codes. Just try to like do some kind of alteration in CSS properties, like try to make it more colorful or try to make it like more attractive, because it should look like it should look presentable also. Sometimes that also matters, so you should practice that also. I think that's all for this. Thank you.